So a big adjustment many internationals face when coming to America is what happens inside the apartment or their new home, especially with the appliances. So things work differently here, switches are different, functions are different, and it could be very different from your home country. So we want to help you guys learn how to use all the different appliances and basic functions in your apartment the right way so you're comfortable, safe, and don't break anything. Hey friends, welcome to Chine Coaching. I'm Rob, and at Chine Coaching we love helping people on their cross-cultural journey, especially students and professionals coming to places like America to study and to work and adjust to their new homes in a very different culture. In this video we're going to be touching on different appliances like ovens, microwaves, sinks, fridges, things in the bathroom, things in your apartment that are going to be very different here than your home country, how to use them, how to save money on utilities and electricity, and make sure you guys have a comfortable stay and no fights with your roommates. We're also making some videos about things like how to use the dishwasher and how to use the washing and drying machine. We'll have links for those videos as well. Be sure to check those out. Our first item in this video is the oven and the stove. We call this the range. It's a combination of an oven and a cooking stove top. Very common in homes and apartments here in America. Most apartments are going to have an electric stove, not gas. Gas might be more in homes, so that's a big adjustment for a lot of people. This is a glass or ceramic type surface. Some are going to have the metal coils, so cooking on these are going to be very different. Sometimes they cook faster and burn easily, so be very careful with that. And cleaning is important and different too. With these kind of glass ceramic types, if you burn something or if I spill my chai, it kind of gets crusted in there. So there are certain things like Ceramic Bright, special sort of cleaning solutions you can use to clean the stuff off these stove tops. And if you've got the coil type, covering that top in aluminum foil will help give you extra protection. We've got a video about how to do that as well. It's a great student hack that I learned. We'll also have a link if you want to get the special cleaner for these kind of glass ceramic tops on the stoves. Now for the oven, Americans love to cook and bake. Not just desserts, but our meals, a lot of casseroles and dishes we bake in the oven for dinner. But what's funny is most students I see just use this for storage. So most ovens have a couple layers, and you can even adjust these for the size of what you're baking, but you'll put the dish or the pan in here for whatever you're baking, and things will bake in, 30, 45 minutes or an hour, depending on what you're making. So here's all the controls for the oven and the stove. The knobs are how you turn the stove top on, low, medium, and high. And they might also have a small size and larger size, depending on the space, so you guys can check that out as well. And then all these buttons here are for the oven. Maybe on an older one, it still might be a dial, but this is where you determine the temperature, how long you want it to cook. You can use a timer. And so these are all the features here for using the oven, for baking, broiling, all those different cooking instructions. Most of you guys are gonna be familiar with a microwave. Again, a lot of them are above or nearby in the kitchen oven. Again, very simple to use the microwave. A lot of them have a quick option, like a quick 30-second or quick 1-minute option, which will give you the high temperature, or you can do longer and adjust the temperature or power levels as well. A lot of microwaves also have preset settings where you can do like popcorn or potatoes or things that are kind of preset for a certain type of food you want to cook. And a couple extra features on microwaves that a lot of people don't know how to utilize is one is the light. So this one actually has an overhead light. And then also there's the exhaust fan. So a lot of microwaves will have an exhaust either in the microwave or in maybe some other part. There's an exhaust fan that'll get the steam, the smoke, especially if you're making some spicy food, and kind of help clear it out so you don't set off your fire alarms. So newer oven models are going to have the light turn on when you open it, kind of like a car door. But again, while you're cooking, if you want to see the progress or the height of something, just hit the oven light and it's going to turn on for you. And you can check and see without having to open it up and release the heat. Also down here, this is nothing special. This is just a storage area where you keep pans, baking sheets, cookie sheets. This is where you just keep your baking dishes, so extra storage. The next important thing is to talk about the sink. And it might be simple, but these are actually quite different. And there's a lot of fun features in the sink that most of my international student friends have no idea about. First of all, it's 100% safe to drink the water that's tap water here in America. It's totally okay. There's only just a couple of cities where maybe you might not want to, but across America, it's great. This one is water out and then cold, pull it back for hot. So some of them are gonna have 2 nozzles, different nozzles. So the nozzles are gonna be very different on each sink. Another fun feature, a lot of new sinks have the extendo. So this is helpful if you've got dishes or a big pot, you know, or if you just want to wash out your sink like this. So along with the extendo, you can change the spray. Some have buttons. This is the twist kind. Twist. Remember, as we mentioned in the other video, the hand washing soap is going to be different than the dishwashing machine soap. So make sure you get the right kind for when you wash dishes in the sink. One more really important thing that we have in America is called the garbage disposal. It's like a mixie blender that's underneath the sink. It's very dangerous, so never put your hand in there. Be very careful. But any soft food waste, you know, bones, things like that, don't put anything hard down there. But any soft food waste leftovers, old fruit, you know, you can throw down there, it'll chop it up and then send it down. Anytime the sink is getting blocked up or the water's not draining, it's probably because you need to run the dishwasher. You gotta go, it'll run, and then all the water will flow out. Every place is gonna have a different switch. Sometimes it's on the wall, sometimes there's a button on the counter, and this one, it's actually underneath the counter for the switch. One more important thing is you want to have your water running, or when in the garbage disposal, you don't want it to run dry. So again, the garbage disposal switch on this one is underneath the sink, so you have to open it up. This part here is the garbage disposal machine, and here's the switch. Turn the water on first. So that's the good sound, the way it should sound. If you ever hear a hard grinding or a clink, 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 you might have a spoon or something that fell down in there. Again, make sure it's off and be very careful. Never reach your hand down in there when it's turned on. You'll cut your fingers off. So this is a newer model double door fridge, which you'll find in, you know, kind of newer constructions here in America. You have the fridge on the top and the freezer on the bottom, and it's a double open door. So maybe you want to show us how to open this up? Yeah, sure. Awesome. So the main compartments that Americans usually use is the shelves are more for drinks, jugs, milk, juice, whatever you want to put on the big shelves. This little one is for the deli stuff. We usually put like our lunch meat, cheese in here. Fruits and vegetables go in these lower containers. You can even adjust the humidity levels for them. Butter's up here, which they got right. Also, newer fridges have features where you can adjust the temperature. So you can actually adjust the temperature of the fridge, of the freezer, if you want it more cool, more warm, to save on efficiency, or if you want it more cold for your drinks and stuff. Another big important mistake is a lot more stuff in America has to be refrigerated. I see a lot of students that go grocery shopping and leave their groceries on the counter for hours before putting things like milk, eggs, butter, yogurt, things that are gonna melt or spoil. So as soon as you bring them home, put them in the fridge. And a lot more stuff in America is perishable. Either when you buy it or once you open it, it needs to be stored in the fridge and you don't wanna get sick. So things that might not be refrigerated in your home country might be in America, read and check the labels. So this is a bottom drawer freezer. You've got a big basin on the bottom, lots of storage for all your ice cream and frozen foods. So every fridge is different. The ice maker is here, some will be in the upper part, it all depends. Ice cubes for drinks, or if you want to put it in a cooler. But they're always going to have a switch to turn on or off. So make sure if you're not getting ice, make sure the switch is turned on or the lever's in the right position before reporting it broken, because it just might not be switched on. Lots of homes and apartments come with storage space. This would be a coat closet, so typically you'd have coats hanging here, random storage, keep your shoes here. This technically would be the pantry, where most Americans would keep dry goods, but these guys have chosen to keep their shoes there as a mega shoe rack. That's awesome. This is your apartment. Use it however you want. Utilize the space for what's most comfortable for you guys. Now these big things are going to be new for a lot of people. In America, we have constant air and constant hot water. There's no flipping switches and turning things on and off for the heat and air. This big guy is the hot water heater. So constantly in your sink, in your showers, in your bathrooms, you're going to have hot water. There's no geyser or switch you have to warm up, 10-15 minutes before you want to take a hot bath. This guy's going to keep giving you hot water all the time, every day. These are either going to be gas or electric powered. So your utility bills are what's going to be powering this guy. The upper unit is the HVAC unit, the heating and cooling unit. So in America, we have centralized heating and cooling. And for the central heating and cooling, you manage that with the thermostat, which we'll show you guys in just a second. But again, this is what's going to power the vents that blow the hot and cold air that you determine that's going to be constantly flowing. So one important tip is the air filter. So this is something that the air is going to pass through, but every 3 months you want to change this. Otherwise, you're going to be breathing yucky air. So every 3 months, change your air filter in your air conditioning HVAC units. Check here with your management. They might do that for you or have spares. Check and see if they do that. If not, go to the grocery store, go to Walmart, order on Amazon, and make sure you have a timer for every 3 months so you're breathing cool air. It's warming up for us right now because it's hot this summer. We need that cool air. So this little box here is the thermostat. You'll find it somewhere on the wall, and this determines the temperature, the heat and the cool. They're gonna have heat and cool options. Also just a fan where it just blows and circulates the air. And also there's gonna be on, off, and auto. So you can turn it totally off. You can turn it on where it's just gonna constantly run. Or auto is where you set it at a certain temperature. Say you just want it at like a room temperature, like 73 degrees. That means it's gonna blow the air to cool it down to 73. That's gonna turn off. It's gonna warm up a little bit and it's gonna blow it again. So whether you want constant cool air or occasional cool air to maintain a certain temperature, you can dictate that with your thermostat. The up and down arrows, again, chooses the temperature you want to set it on. Some apartments even have smart thermostats that you can even program from your app or phone or online, which is nice. Most Americans just keep it on the same temperature all day long, or maybe a temperature for the day and a temperature for at night. We're not always changing and adjusting them. The only time that we would change our temperature or raise it up is if we're going into town for a couple weeks, to save on the bills, and then we program it on the app, cool it down the day we're coming home so that we still have nice good temperature when we get home and it's not a sauna when we get home. So even on some of the basic thermostats, even if it's not a smart Wi-Fi thermostat, they're still programmable. So some of these buttons here are where you can program it. Say you're gonna be at the office all day, so you can set those times, the temperature will adjust while you're gone, and then change it back to the time you come home. Or if there's certain days you're gonna be gone, you can program it for times of the day or a certain number of days to adjust as well in a simple way without a smart app. So in lots of homes and apartments, Americans have showers, and a lot of the showers aren't gonna come with a door, and if it doesn't come with the glass door, you're gonna have to get a shower curtain. You can get one of these just for a few bucks at Walmart or Dollar Tree, but this is what's gonna help keep the water splashing out. In America, the bathrooms aren't designed to get water everywhere. Water needs to stay in the shower, in the toilet, in the sink. The floors should not be constantly getting wet every day. Another helpful thing you can get at the store is shower caddies. There's hanging kind, ones that stick to the wall, hang over the nozzle, stand up against in there. But that way, if you don't have shelves, you can still organize your shampoo, conditioner, soap, all that stuff, so it's just not sitting on the floor. So with showers, you're gonna have different handles and knobs. Some have double for hot and cold. Some are a single, and you just turn and adjust. So this one, you just go up for hot, down for cold, in the middle for just right. Some you might have to pull out or lever out. This one just rotates around. So everyone's gonna be a little bit different. Again, experiment. As you notice, toilets are a little bit different in America too. They're the Western style, and Americans use toilet paper. So water is typically not an option. Be sure to check out our videos on how to use toilet paper, or if you want water or a jet spray, you can easily install one of those onto your own toilet for very cheaply and get the water clean if that's something that's helpful for you. Another important thing to know is that in America, toilet paper goes down in the plumbing in the toilet. You don't need to put it in a separate trash can. It's okay to flush the toilet paper here in America. Another big different thing here in America is our floors. We don't have stone or marble or cement floors. We typically have carpet, especially in the bedrooms, and hard wood floors or vinyl plank. Another thing about, especially if you live in an apartment, is the buildings are made with wood, with beams and drywall, so sound travels really easily. So if you're in an upper level, if you're stomping around or walking, the people beneath are going to hear you, so you have to be very careful. And cleaning these things is very different. For carpet, you definitely need to vacuum every week. For hardwood floors, sweeping every day, vacuuming every week, mopping. So the cleaning of these things are going to be different. Make sure you do a good job of knowing how to take care of your floors, because when you move out, if they're really dirty, you're not going to get your security deposit back, or you're going to have to pay fines. So make sure you learn how to properly clean these as well. So another different thing in America is the blinds for the windows. These are shutter blinds. Sometimes there's the vertical kind that go back and forth, but they have different cords. Those ones shut them. These ones open them up. That'll help you get lots of sunshine. So these have a lock. And to get these ones open again, you have to pull to the side. You'll hear a click, and then at the angle, you lift them back down. So pull vertical down to open. To the side to get the click, and then let them go down. So a different kind of blinds is these long vertical hanging blinds, and you just twist the lever, and you can open them up like this, and then you just push it and slide. Again, there's no strings on this one. Pull it back. And then you twist. But you want to be a little bit careful so these don't break and you have to replace them. Windows are pretty easy to use too. They're just a latch. So when the weather's nice and you want to save money on your AC bill, just let the cool air in. But this is cool 106 degrees Fahrenheit weather, so we're going to close this because this is really hot right now. So this is a fire sprinkler. In a lot of modern constructions, there's a lot of fire safety code. And so in apartment buildings, these are going to be built in. So whenever there's a fire, these will go out. Don't hang anything on these. These aren't for clothes or decorations or towel drying. So leave them alone. But these are the fire sprinkler systems. These are going to be in apartments, but not in homes. So these are the smoke alarms. These sometimes can be a big problem for international students in their cooking. If they're making something spicy or smoky or burning something on the stove, these will go off and they're really loud, really annoying. So that's why you need good ventilation. When you're cooking, use the exhaust, use the fans, open up the doors so these things don't go off because they're really loud. And if these are just beeping, like there's many times I've gone to my friends' apartments and there's just the beep, beep, beep in the background, that means the battery needs changing. If they're hardwired, then they don't need changing, but most of these are batteries. And if that beeping, it just means the battery changed. And don't sit there and live with that beeping going on. Go ahead and change it. So these are the AC vents. A lot of them will be up top. Maybe in some older buildings in the Northeast, they might be coming from the bottom or the sides, but mostly they're in the ceiling. And they have a little lever which opens and closes the airflow. So if you're someone that likes a different temperature or don't want it as hot or as cold, you can kind of close it a little bit or totally close it, or have full blast if you like sleeping in the cold tundra. So in America, we call these plugs. Other people call them power points or other things around the world. But we have a funny kind of three-pronged plug, which is different than the rest of the world. So you guys are gonna need adapters and converters. So we have 110 volt power here. 110, 120 is what comes out of our walls, not 220, 240, which is a lot of the world. So big appliances can plug in directly just with adapter. Smaller appliances are gonna need converters so it can adjust to the different current. So with the plugs, if you're bringing in electronics from your home country, things like a phone, a laptop, those are gonna be fine. You just need an adapter to get the plug to go. But things that you would usually use in the bathroom, like a beard trimmer, maybe a hair dryer, a curling iron, those things from your home country are maybe only made for your voltage and might not convert to the US. So you're either gonna need a converter or just buy something here because it's not gonna match. It's probably gonna get fried or break or die. So phones, laptops typically do fine, but any other kind of small appliance or electronic item, triple check before plugging it in directly into an American outlet. So some bathrooms in America have exhaust fans. That's what that noise is. It's gonna get the steam and the hot air out when you're taking a shower. So it's always good when you're taking a shower or go into the bathroom to turn the exhaust fan on to get the steam or the smells out. Might have an extra light. And also some of these places might have a heat lamp as well. So not only is there an exhaust fan, but they might have a heat lamp which warms it up. This one doesn't, but every apartment is different. Experiment with what the different switches do, whether it's a light, a heat light, or an exhaust fan. Another small thing that's good for you guys to know about is the power breaker. And these are the switches for all the different parts of the electricity in your apartment. So if there's any electrical issues, come and check here. You know, they're labeled, you know, furnace, AC, water heater, fridge, different rooms, dishwasher. So this is where, you know, if something's not turning on or if there's some kind of repairs, you want to make sure you turn the electricity off. So in some apartments here in America, you'll also find a fireplace. So this is a log fireplace where you'll burn an actual fire, and some fireplaces are gas fireplaces with a fake logs. So this one, you would put the logs inside, and then every fireplace is going to have a lever, which is the flue. So you have to make sure the flue is open so that the smoke can come out. And once you put the logs in, you can take some papers, some newspaper, and use this as the base, kind of the kindling, and light these things. It'll help light the logs. In the winter time, you can have a fire to warm up your apartment. It's kind of fun. All right, Samir, what was the most helpful thing you learned of all the topics we talked about?
The most helpful one was the AC because the weather is so hot here and it's just suffocating to stay in like the hot, cramped environment the entire day. So thank you so much, Rob, for teaching us about that. Central
heating and cooling can save your life if you know how to do it well. And there's all these little different things about the appliances and things about how your house and apartment functions. Be sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you're not missing out because there's going to be some really helpful things instead of using it for the wrong purpose. And be sure to check out our videos where we talk about the dishwashing machine, which is going to save time and money, and also how to wash your clothes in a washer and dryer. My friends, hopefully this video was helpful. Give a big like and thumbs up to say thanks. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter to get updates on tips, live events, and we really appreciate you guys joining us at Shine Coaching. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
See ya.